Hi there, welcome my dear students. In this lecture, I'm going to teach you how you can create a multi-level drop-down menu using HTML and CSS. So if I hover here, can you see I have this one menu, and after that if I hover here, I have another menu. And I'm using a background image here. I have picked this from unsplash.com. You can go there and pick up the images. From there you can find free images. And on the other hand, we are going to use a few things in this project. That is, I'm going to use the Font Awesome kit in this project. So I hope you are familiar with the Font Awesome. If you're not, kindly go on and create your account on Font Awesome. And what you will do, once you are logged in on your account, like this, let's load this one. Okay, once you're logged in on your account, you can what you can do, you can click on your kits, and from here you will see an option similar to this one. You have to come up here, and what you have to do, you need to copy this kit URL. You can click on this like copy JS kit embedded code, and you can put that in your HTML. And the other thing what you have to do, we are using this Font Awesome kit to show this type of icons in our website. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up a folder. In the file explorer, I have created a folder with the name of Dropdown menu, and I have created a folder here with the name of assets. And inside that, I have a image here. Can you see? And one more thing, I'm gonna create a folder with the name of images, and I'm gonna put my image inside this folder. And the next thing I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna create a folder with the name of CSS. And inside this folder, I'm gonna throw my CSS. So I will come back here, and I'm gonna open up this folder in VS Code. Here you go, and let's wait for a few seconds. And today I'm not gonna run the live server, so I can show you the changes that I'm gonna do here, and you can see on the browser. Okay, so here can you see I have created a folder. I'm gonna create a file here with the name of app.css, and here I'm gonna create a file with the name of index.html where we are gonna write our HTML markup code. So let me let me split this here, and I'm gonna close this here. We are gonna write our markup language. So I will do shift and the exclamation mark, and I will hit enter. This is gonna write our markup for us. So here I'm gonna write multi top down menu. And after that, what we have to do, we need to go back onto the browser, and we need to pick up the Font Awesome kit that we have. It's here, and I'm gonna copy this, and I will come back. I'm gonna close this live server, and I will come back here, and I'm gonna paste that here. So all of you guys know that we never put the JS code in the header. We always put that in the footer. So we can put that in the header as well, but we need to mention the defer code. So after our HTML is loaded, at the end this is gonna load the JavaScript in our project. Let's build up the basic structure of our markup, and I'm gonna create a menu. I'm gonna create a div with the class name menu, and inside that I need a h1 tag where I'm gonna mention about my logo. So h1, and I will say logo, and inside that I'm gonna put my name of the logo. I'm gonna say one touch and dev. But this touch word I need to give color like in the sample that I have showed you. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this in a span tag, and let me close this tag, and inside that I'm gonna put one touch dev. So later on we're gonna do manipulation on that. Let me before moving on, before watching the result, let me write down something more for our design. So now I'm gonna create UL, and after that I need li, and that is going to be multiply by 5, and inside that I need a tag. I will hit enter. Can you see I have created the li, and I have the anchor tag inside that, and I'm gonna say that hash, this is going to be home, and inside that I will add my text that is home, and on the second number that is our going to be about, sorry, hash about, and let me write that quickly. Okay, we are done with the basic, some basic stuff. So let's go on to the browser and see our result. But before seeing our result, let's open up this in the browser. So let me open up that in this browser. Let me open up this. 1 second. Okay, here you go. It's open. Now, can you see it's look like this? Now we need to make this beautify. So what we can do, let's go back into the code. So in the CSS, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say dot menu. And before directly working into the menu, what I have to do, I need to create some root elements here. I'm gonna say root, and here I'm gonna put my colors. So I'm gonna say color hyphen primary that I'm gonna use instead of typing the color again and again in the whole project. And I have some color codes name here. I'm gonna quickly copy all of my color codes and I will paste that here, and so you can use these color codes in your project. So these are the 4 colors that I'm gonna use in my project. And after that, I'm gonna use a universal tag, and I'm gonna say margin needs to be 0 and padding needs to be 0, and after that we need the box sizing, and that is going to be border box. So now let's and before moving on to that, yeah, now the next thing we need to work in the menu. So we are gonna say background color, that is going to be our 1 second. Okay, background color, and I'm gonna use var here. Instead of simple color, I'm gonna use var, and inside the var, I'm gonna use the color black. I will copy that color name and I will paste that here, and I will save that, and let's go into our browser and see our result. Okay, it's not showing right now. Let me see what's the problem. And here, it's not showing. Oh, okay. So why it's not showing? We didn't link our CSS file with our program. So what I have to do, I need to link my file. So that is the style sheet. I'm gonna say inside the assets folder, I have a CSS folder. Inside that I have app.css. If I go back onto the browser, if I reload that, can you see I have a background color now and my CSS is applying? Can you see? Okay, now we need to work on to the next part. Okay, but before moving on to the next part, we need to finish up the menu thing. We are gonna put height here, and or we can do one thing. We can go back into the browser, and inside the menu, we are gonna put our CSS here so we can see the live changes. This is what I like to do. Like when I'm teaching to my students, this is what normally I do. I will say height, that is going to be uh, that is going to be 80 pixels, and after that, don't worry about this design, this is gonna look beautiful after we put the code. So width is going to be 100%, and after that I'm gonna say display flex. Can you see it's gonna look beautiful once we write more code? So I'm gonna say justify content, that is going to be space between. Can you see there is a space between now? And after that, I need to say padding is going to be 0. If there is any kind of padding, we are removing that. So we don't need padding. Okay, let's go. Let's leave this here and let me copy that, and I'm gonna paste that here. So I will save that and I will reload. So our CSS has been implemented. The next thing that we need to work on, that is our h1, and the class on the h1 is logo. So I'm gonna come here, I will say dot logo, and inside that I need to use a color for my text color, and I'm gonna say var and hyphen hyphen. This time we are gonna use the color with the name of color white. That is kind of white, not exactly white, type of white. And after that, I need to mention the font size, and font size is going to be 30 pixel. By default, font size of H1 is different, but we are gonna say we want to use a font size with the name with 30 pixel. Can you see? It's here. Now the next thing that we have to do is we need to work with this one, this span tag. We need to change the color of this span. I'm gonna say color. Instead of typing here, let's go back into our CSS and I'm gonna say dot logo where, oops, dot logo, and inside that we have a span tag and we are gonna say color. Color is going to be var, and this time we are gonna choose the primary color. So I will say hyphen hyphen color, and that is going to be the primary. I will save that, and if I come back here onto the browser, if I refresh, can see we have a beautiful logo text here. I'm not putting logo here, I'm just gonna put the logo text here. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to work on our menu, this UL thing. So on UL, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say dot menu. Inside that we have a UL, and I'm gonna say list style, that is going to be none. And we can do one more thing. I'm gonna copy this, and on the top I will come on to the top and I will say UL, and that is going to be list style none. Now I will come back here. I don't need to type here. So if you have more ULs, you're gonna say list style is going to be none. And after that I need to say here display flex again. So can you see we are using flex two time, display flex property. We can separate this property as well, like we can create a class with the name of tflex, and inside that we can put the display flex. So wherever we have to use that, we can just simply call that call that class instead of typing multiple times this CSS. It's a repeating thing. We can do that as well. That is another approach, and this is another approach. In this, you have a repetition in the code. So we are doing the repetition. We can avoid that. That's why we have the bootstrap. When we are working with the bootstrap, we just need to use the classes. So right now we are not using that classes much. So we can create that as well. So after that, what I have to do, I need to work on menu.ul. Let me copy that. And after that, I need to work on li. Whatever the li there is inside the ul, I'm saying padding. Padding needs to be, I'm gonna say 10 pixels. And before doing that, let me comment out this, and let's go back here and let me refresh. Can you see? It's looking beautiful now. It's in the line. So I will come back here and let me uncomment this. Padding 10, top bottom, that is going to be 10, left right is going to be 30 pixels. And after that there is one more thing that I need to do. I will say position is going to be relative. I will save that. Okay, it's looking much beautiful. And now the next thing that I have to do is our a tag. We need to work on our a tag. So again, I'm gonna copy all of this. I will paste that, and now I'm saying inside UL there is a li and there is a tag, and there is one more thing I can do. I can directly create a class and I can directly target this, but this is another method today I'm using that. I'm not gonna do too much classes today. And again, here the color is going to be our var, and I'm gonna call my variable name. So here on the top we created our variables, and I'm gonna use that one. So that for the color, that is going to be, the variable name is white, and after that the text decoration, I'm gonna say that text decoration needs to be none. If I save that and if I go back onto the browser, can you see there is an underline is coming? This is a decoration on the a tag as well. So I will reload the page. Can you see that thing has been gone? Okay, there is another thing that I think I'm missing, that is padding, and that is going to be 5. I'm gonna say left right, I need this to be 5%. Okay, so this is good now. Once we start filling up this will look more beautiful. Okay, there is one more thing we are missing. Justify content center between, it's done. But there is one more thing. We didn't align our item to the center. Can you see it's in the center now? It's looking much beautiful. So I'm gonna copy this again, and I will go back into my code, and here I'm gonna replace my code again here. So this is looking more beautiful and much better than before. Okay, the next thing that we need to do, let's come back onto the a tag, and we are gonna say text decoration is none. The next thing we need to specify is font size, and font size is going to be by default 20 pixels. So we are gonna, no, sorry, the by default font size is 16 pixel, and we are gonna say the font size is going to be 20 pixel. And after that, I need to say display, this needs to be block, and after that, I need to put a transition on here, and transition is going to be transition all, like on all of the properties I'm gonna apply the transition, and that is going to be speed of the transition is going to be 0.3s. And the next thing that we need to do, we need to apply a hover effect on our a tag. Like whenever someone is going to hover on here, we want to apply a different color on the anchor tag. So I'm gonna say hover, and on hover I'm gonna change my color. That is going to be color and var, and that is going to be the primary color. I will save that, and I will come back here. I will refresh, and now if when you see I'm hovering here, and it's giving me a beautiful color on here. The next thing, I will come back here, and I made a mistake. This needs to be inside here. Let me remove that. Let me save that, and let's go back and let's see. Oh, here it's showing us very beautifully now. Okay, the next thing that we need to work on, that is our this page. We need to have an icon here, and when we are hovering here, we need to see a menu. But before working on that, let's put up a hero. Let's put up a hero tag, hero section here, not the hero tag. Sorry. Let's come back here, and I'm gonna create outside of this div, I'm gonna create a section, and let me do that. Let me change this div to the section. So this is our section of the menu, and the next section that we are gonna work on, section dot hero, and I will hit enter. And after that, what I have to do, you have seen that here in the assets, I have a images folder. Inside that, I have a background image. If I open that up here, it's a heavy, this one. I'm gonna use this image. So I will come up here, and I can come up here, and I will say dot hero, and inside hero I'm gonna say height, and I'm gonna say calculate my value. That is going to be 100 vh minus 80 pixels. This is because our height is 80 pixel on the top. Can you see our this menu is taking the 80 pixels? So we are saying our height needs to be 100 VH, but minus the 80 pixels from that, and calculate height according to that. So after that, I'm going to specify the background image, and that is going to be, I'm going to use a property here, background URL, and the value URL, and inside that I'm gonna say go back one directory, and there is a images folder. Inside the images folder we have the BG, so it's picking up that. Let me save that. But before moving on, or let's move on to the browser. Let me reload that. Can you see images coming here, but it's not looking beautiful? We need to make this beautify. I will come up here, and I will say background and position, and that is going to be center. And after that, I need to say background size, that is going to be cover, not contain, sorry. Let me select that again. That is going to be cover. And the next thing that we need to say background repeat, we are gonna say no background repeat. Sometime maybe you are using an image that is a small size image, and that is gonna repeat multiple times. So if you do background repeat to no repeat, if even if your image is small, that is not gonna repeat on here. So I will copy these three properties, and I will come back here onto the on my coding, and here's where is this is here. I will paste in the hero class, and I will go back and into the browser. I will reload that. Can you see it's showing beautifully here? Okay, the next thing that we need to do, we need to go on to the font awesome, what you can do, you have to click on icons, and here you need to type caret, or caret, something like that. Hit enter. Basically, we need to pick up a arrow icon. From here, I'm gonna say select free because we are not using the paid one. And from here, I need the caret down option, caret down icon from here. I will click here, and I'm gonna pick up fast solid for caret down. I will copy that, and I will come back in my code, and we need that inside our a tag. We are gonna put that here. I will save that, and if I go back onto the browser, if I reload that, can you see I have this beautiful icon here? Now, if I inspect this one, the icon, I want some space between the pages and this icon. What I'm gonna do, 1 second. I'm gonna say this is already on right, and I'm gonna say I will float this to right. Okay, and after that I'm gonna put up a space. Even I can get rid of float. I can say margin, and that is going to be left, and I'm gonna say margin left needs to be 10 pixels. And after that I'm gonna say padding. If I need any kind of padding, I can say 10 pixels. Or I can, this is 10 pixels is too much. Let me reduce that. That is going to be, or we can leave the padding. We don't need the padding. Let's remove that. We don't need the padding. We just need the margin left on here. So I will go back here, and here can you see this one, and I can say fast solid. I'm gonna pick up this one fast solid from here, and on top on here I can say dot fast solid. I'm gonna, because we are not using too many classes, that's why I'm gonna directly target this one. And I'm gonna say, because we are using the menu, or we can do one more thing. I'm gonna say wherever the menu is, we are gonna say dot menu, and wherever inside that you find the fast solid class, just apply our CSS on there, and that is going to be margin left, and that is going to be 10 pixels. Okay, let's save that, and let's come back here onto the browser, and let me reload that. And can you see our margin left is here? So now we need to put up the drop down menu on here. Let's go back onto the code. Now I will move up here on our HTML side, and inside the li, what I'm gonna do, I will say inside the li I need to create a inside the div, I need to create a div with the name of I will say Dropdown, and inside that I need UL, and inside that I need a li, and I need 4 LIs inside that, and the 4 LIs, inside the 4 LIs I need a tag. I will do that, and that's how I can create a structure of my li and the a tag. This is inside the drop down menu we have here, and I'm gonna say that here this is going to be pricing, and after that I'm gonna say this is going to be portfolio. Just random thing, you can put whatever you want. And the next thing, that is going to be team, and after that inside the team we need FAQ. I will save that. Now let's get started and start working on the drop down. So I will come down here, and now I'm gonna say menu li, this one I'm gonna pick up this one, and I will say menu li, and I'm gonna say when menu li on hover of the menu li, I'm gonna say that. Okay, one thing more before moving on to this one, I need to do here I will say drop down, and I'm gonna say display, this needs to be none. So until this hovers up, I don't want the display to be none. So the second thing after that, I need to say when li is hover, what we have to do, we on hover we need to change the CSS of dropdown. So I'm gonna say display, that is going to be block, and after that the position is going to be absolute. So can you see here on the top, we have used the position relative. In order to work the position absolute, we must have to apply the position relative here. Otherwise, you can't see your menu on the drop down. So I will say left, that is going to be 0. And top, we are going to say that from top, we want this to be 100%. After that, I'm gonna say the background color. So I'm gonna use the var, and after that, I'm gonna use the color. We have color black and color. We're gonna use the color black one, black only, or I have color black one as well. So I'm gonna use the color black, or I can use color. Let's try the color black one, and let's go back onto the browser. I will reload that, and if I hover, can you see I have this drop down coming, but it's not looking beautiful right now. We need to make this beautiful. So what I can do, let me come up here. And one more thing, if you want to do changes here and you can't see your hover, once you take out the mouse, you can't do anything here. What you can do, we put our hover effect on the li, like whenever someone going to hover here, show our drop down menu. Can you see this hover straight here? Click on here and click on hover. Can you see I can see my menu now from here? Okay, the next thing we need to fix this thing, and what we have to do, we need to come into the our drop down, and can you see it's showing here? And top, if we miss up the top 100%, can you see it's going there? And position absolute. If I'm not using that, this will look like similar to this one. So what I have to do, I have to open up this UL, and I'm gonna say I have to apply on this on hover, something on the hover, like on hover we want to change this. Right now it's displaying flex. We don't want to do this. On the hover effect, we want to change this value. So on the hover, we want this display to be block. And after that margin, we are going to set the margin as well. We are going to say 10 pixels. So this will, can you see on the top, bottom, left, right, we have a 10 pixels margin. I will copy that and I will come back here. And one more thing before like working on that, I'm going to copy this. I will paste that, and I'm gonna say that when the dropdown is hover, there is a UL inside that, and on the UL, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna apply this CSS on it. I will save that, and I will come back here. I will reload the page, and if I hover here, can you see this menu is looking much better? But we need to do a lot more work to make this look more beautiful. So now I will go back into the CSS code and I'm going to copy this one again. And this is going to be a little bit lengthy CSS, not too much. It's almost, we are near to end. So inside the URL, UL, we have li, and we are going to say width that needs to be 150 pixels. And after that, we are going to say padding. Padding is going to be 10 pixels. And after the padding, we are going to say we need a border bottom, and that is going to be 1 pixel solid. And after that, we are going to say our color, and that color is going to be color primary. I will save that, and I will go into the browser again. I will reload the page, and can you see we have a beautiful lines here, and on hover we can see the color as well, because we have done that before on the hover, on the UL hover. So can you see on the UL li hover we have put the primary color, so we have that. And the next thing that we need to work on, this is done on the team. We need the multi drop down option. So how we can achieve that thing? So I will go back here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this div from here, and that div we are gonna paste inside this one, inside this li. Let me hit enter, and here I'm gonna hit enter. I'm gonna paste this div inside that. So I'm gonna say instead of drop down, I'm gonna say drop down menu, and after that I'm gonna change the value as well of this text. I'm gonna say team 1, and after that this is going to be team 2. Let me do that quickly. Okay, now we have this here. If I save that and If I go back here and reload the page, if I hover, can you see it's look like this? This is not beautiful. We need to make this more beautiful. So before making this more beautiful, we need to put here inside the anchor tag, we need to put this one, the icon. We are gonna say that is going to be right, I think. Let me reload that, and can you see we have this icon here as well? And I will come back here. So I'm gonna pick up this class from here, and from here I'm gonna copy this one again. I'm gonna copy this one. Let me copy the whole one, and I will come up here and I will paste, and instead of drop down, I'm gonna say drop down menu, and this is going to be display block position absolute, and from left this is 0, but sorry, from top this is going to be, from the top this is going to be 0, and on the left side I want to say 150 pixels, and the background color, we are going to use the same background color, and I will go back and I will refresh the page, and can you see on the hover it's showing, but I want this to be like when I hover here I can see this menu, but right now this is also open. I don't want to see that like this. And there is one more thing. Can you see on the last line I have this line? I want to get rid of this one as well. So what I can do, I have added a drop down, I have added a border color here this one. So I'm gonna copy that and I will paste that here, and I will remove these lines, and I'm gonna say last child. We don't want any kind of border here. I'm gonna say none. And if I come back here, reload the page, and can you see there is no line here, not here and on here as well. But I need to hide this menu, the second menu. I'm gonna say drop down menu. I will copy that and I will paste similar to the simple drop down class. I will say display, that is going to be none. I will save that, and I want to open up my menu on hover only. I will reload this page. One second, it's still not hide. What I'm missing? Let me check. I have missed one thing. I'm using the menu, the main one. So I don't want to do this on menu, ULLI. I want this to be drop down. So this one, like I'm saying on the drop down, this one drop down, whenever someone hover on the drop down, this one, and inside that there is a ULLI hover. So like this one, then I want this to show. Like inside on the first drop down, whenever someone do the hover, after that I want to show the li like on the drop down menu, and here this is here inside that I have the UL, and inside that I have a drop down menu. So I'm saying the drop down, this one, whenever hover someone on the UL, inside that there is a li. When someone hover on here, and if there is a class inside that, this drop down menu, right now on the first one there is no drop down menu, on the second one there is no, but in the third li we have the drop down menu. So I'm saying whenever someone hover here, I want to show this drop down. So I will save that and I will come back onto the browser and I will reload it, and if I hover here, and can you see it's showing me the menu now, and there is only one thing left, that is this one, this arrow key that is not on the here. So we need to make that on the right side. First of all, I will come up here, I will say on hover I want to show this, and right now I can't see my this icon on the left side. So let me do float, and that is going to be on right. Okay, so I need to use the float, so this can be look like here on the side. So I will come back here in the browser, and here I have mentioned about the menu that was here, this one. I will paste here, I will save that, and I will come back here and I will refresh it. So if I hover here, can you see I have this hover effects as well, and my menu is working. And if I come back here again, I can see my menu. So that's it. And if you have liked my video, kindly please subscribe my channel, and need your support a lot. And hit the bell icon as well to stay updated with the latest videos. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. See you in the next video.